In this video, I'll be showing you how to study for your business studies tests that will be coming up pretty soon in grade 12. Now, let's get started immediately. Now, on my left-hand side, we have the exam papers open. The reason that I have an exam papers open is because the whole point of tests that are coming up are to prepare you for the exam papers. So why waste your time trying to study test papers when you could just immediately go to the exam papers when the test papers are literally just there to help you study for the exam papers? Just skip all of the tests and just go straight to the exams and stop wasting your time. Now on the right hand side, we also have the Notion timer up and ready. And we'll be studying for 25 minutes and then you'll take a 5-minute break and then you'll study for 25 more minutes and you'll keep repeating that cycle over and over until you've eventually studied all of the stuff that you need to be studying. Now, for reference, what you need to be doing, the amount of exam papers that you'll need to be doing to be prepared for the upcoming test, you'll have to do 6 exam papers at minimum. 6 exam papers minimum. And that includes you need to do the November ones and you need to do the May ones. Do not dare skip that. Otherwise, you'll just be shooting yourself in the foot. Now, on the other side, we have the notes right there that we'll be using to help us answer the questions. And on the right hand side, we have Notion open where we will be answering the questions. So let's go start right ahead. And those are the chapters that you are most likely having given to study for the upcoming test. Important to note, we will only be answering the questions related to the chapters that we've been given to study for the upcoming test. That means anything that does not fall within that chapter, we will not be studying it. So let's go ahead and get started. May exam paper 1. Then we immediately just start there. So we start with, remember, we'll be doing the whole exam paper, the entire thing, but you'll only be answering the questions related to these chapters that you've been given to study. If they do not fall within that chapter, you do not study that. Okay, so obviously question 1.1.1 falls within that chapter that we need to study. So you go ahead and you answer that. So 1.1.1 and that answer right there is C. And then 1.2 does not. 1.1.2 does not fall within that we need to study. 1.1.3 also not. 1.1.4, however, does fall inside of that. So we go ahead and we do that. And the answer to that one is, wait, that one, I answered that incorrectly right there. That one is B and this one is C. So then once again, after you've done 1.1.1, then you go ahead and you check the memo to make sure that what you answered to that question is indeed correct. So 1.1.1 is in fact B and 1.1.4 is in fact C. And after you've done that, go over to the next question. Then you start doing 1.2.1 and out of that question. Once again, you do those 5 and then you go ahead and you check if the answer to your questions was correct. And if it was not correct, you go ahead and you do correct that. In fact, you fix your mistake and you understand why you answered the first one to begin with and why it's the second one. And remember, you can use the notes to help you to answer the exam questions. You do not need to do it whatsoever without the notes. The reason being, because the memorization already happens if we do a lot of the exam questions over and over and over again, meaning you do not need to do it without the notes because the memorization happens by doing the questions over and over and over and over and over again until you've memorized the answers to that question. So in fact, there's absolutely no reason that you should be doing the questions without the notes. So then you go ahead, you continue 1.3, you do all of that questions relating to the chapters that you need to be studying. Go ahead, go below. And then 1.2.1, you go ahead and you do full questions. So and then you answer that. You use the notes. They want the 4 pillars of the BBBEE. So you go ahead, look for the question. There are the pillars. You go ahead and then you start answering the question. Remember, you should not, don't even dare to try to copy and paste it each time you come across a question that is like the exact same of the one that you already did, because then you will not memorize anything at all. The whole point is to type it over and over so that you start to memorize that answer to that specific question. Think of it, if you had a pen and a paper, you'd still be, even if you came across a question that was the exact same, you'd still have to write the answers over and over again. Same in this case, you'll be typing the answers once again over and over again. But if you're writing with a pen and a paper, then you'll write the answers over and over again, because that's how the memorization happens. Do not skip this step and do not look for a shortcut. This is already a shortcut enough compared to needing to study everything in that chapters right there and still figuring out that most of the stuff that you did study was a waste of time. So don't even try to take a shortcut even more, because this is the shortcut that you are taking right now. And this is the one that you will be getting you that 80% and higher. And you go ahead. So you see 2.2, outline the advantages of intensive strategies that does not fall within the chapters that we need to study. So we skip that. And then 2.3, not fall there. So we skip that. When you keep going and only doing the questions that fall within the chapters that you need to be doing, and you also do that includes the essay questions. You do both of them. In this case, they do, because that is the human resources function and that is legalization. So you'll be doing both of those essay questions. You don't need to do it in a formal way unless you want to practice how to do a essay question correctly. That's when you do it how you normally do it. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and answer these 4 bullets like they were a typical question that was asked of you. And each time you need to include 4 bullets beneath each bullet that you see right there, because that's how you'll be getting enough marks. After you've done that, now of course, then you go ahead and then you do November now. So that once again, you only answer the questions related to the chapters that you need to be study. So you answer that. Not sure if that falls within it, but each one that does fall within the chapters that you need to be studying, you do that. And remember, even if it appears again, you do it. Now, important thing to note, if the question appears 2 times or more, there's a significantly higher chance that it will appear in the next test or exam paper. Now, that being said, if it appears 1 time, that does not mean that it will not appear in the exam paper at all. It just means that there's a significantly lower chance of that appearing in the next exam test paper that you'll be doing. So you could maybe lose maximum 6 points in that test paper, but you'll still be able to get a distinction because all of the other questions are questions that you have practiced by doing old exam papers, meaning you'll still get that distinction in that test right there. So that was an important thing to note. So once again, if it appears 2 times or more, there's a significantly higher chance that it will appear in the next test or exam paper. That's one important thing that I wanted to tell you. So then you go ahead and you do that, you do all of the things, and you check your answers to the questions to see if what you entered there was actually correct. Then you just go ahead and you rinse and repeat that. Remember, at minimum, you want to be doing 6 exam papers. That being said, that means 3 from May and 3 from November in the recent years. Remember, the recent years. So seeing as it's 2026, that means you want to be looking for 2025, 2024, 2023. See? So that should already be enough. That right there should already be 6 exam papers having been done. Now, if you want to do more, be my guest and go ahead and do more. 6 exam papers, after all, is just the minimum that you need to be able to do to be all right with the upcoming tests. Now, that is really about all. And remember, you'll be using this site to answer the questions, and you can do it with the notes right there. There's no reason to do it with the notes whatsoever, as long as you keep repeating it over and over. Even if that question appears again, you do it again. Do not dare think that you got this in the bag, you understand it now. Do not do that. Do not make that mistake. Go ahead and do that question once again, because you're only doing yourself a favor and making it easier for yourself to memorize the answers to that specific type of question. Now, in case you want these notes, I do have them on my website right here. So bizbite.lovable.app, and on my free resources page is where you can come ahead and get those summarized business studies chapters from chapter 1 to 16. And you can read more about that if you want, but you simply put down your full name and enter your email address, and then an email will be sent to you. And those are some feedbacks that I've been given of the people that have gotten the notes so far. That is everything relating to the how to study for the business studies tests that are coming. I hope you found that video useful, and be sure to subscribe, as I will be making more videos teaching you how to master certain topics regarding to business studies exam grade 12.